Hey guys, it's Picorni here. Just gonna give you a little feedback on the website. So hopefully you guys can get this video and just take a look at it for what it's worth. Um, get some more direction, hopefully, on where to go next. Starting out, what just looks really good so far. I mean, in general, I think it's a nice template. It's gonna be really nice when you guys finish it. So really happy with where it's at now, and then we're just gonna keep making some progress, and I think you'll have a good product at the end of the quarter. Um, I'm just gonna kind of go down the list here. I would put these things, citation guides, APA, MLA. I'd put these on a pretty low priority for this class. Um, Common errors would be a higher priority. I'd definitely like to see, fragments, incorrect pronoun case, unclear pronoun reference, those things. Subject-verb agreement would be a good one to include on there. Comma splices, I actually would ask that you put comma splices and fragments right up at the top of the list. Those are probably the biggest errors that we see, most common errors, and probably the most, we get the most bang for our buck if we can get kids to go to those links. Otherwise, things like wordiness. In my link or in my email, I'll send you a link as well. So hopefully you guys will see that. That's an interesting little article. I'd like you guys to take a look at that. Gives you some other different errors to look at. Um, Articles, spelling, using the right word. I don't know if you need a section here on articles. If you have time, throw it in, but I don't think that's a real high priority. Using the right word, this would be a great one just to kind of give some definitions and some guides. Take a look at the Writer's Ink book if you want to look at that section. I feel like maybe that's where you guys pulled some of your information from already, so that's great. Make sure you cite that though if you do use their examples. Um, Parallelism would be another good one to hit. We're going to be talking about that in the next week. Um, so if you want to just listen in on or be in the classroom for a day on that and work with that, you can. Otherwise, it's fairly easy to just research and you guys could come up with something there. Parts of speech, you can try to add a little bit there. The phrases, this is obviously the section you guys have done the most work on. It looks good. A couple things though that I would ask you to modify and adjust. At the beginning here, this is not technically true where you say there are 4 separate types of phrases. There are several others that we don't talk about in this class in as much detail. So I just modify that to kind of communicate that there are 4 key phrases that can help you build better sentences or something along those lines. Because there are others, there are gerund phrases, there are infinitive phrases, there's some other things that you can identify, but that we don't spend as much time on because they don't help you build better sentences as much as these 4 do. So adjust that. But then the different pages look great. One note that I would have for all of these, if we could sort of have a consistent kind of splash at the beginning of at the top of each of these pages, that would be awesome. I think if you, for example, made something like this much bigger, so that the first thing you see when you get to this page is just a real good visual, a big visual of what it looks like, and then with a big example sentence underneath that. I think that would look awesome. So, use this format like this would be great, and then underneath it just have an example sentence where you're identifying these things. That way, when somebody just pops to this page, right, they can see a quick visual, a quick reference right away. So if you could do that on all of the phrase pages, I think that'd be a nice touch. But the examples look good. I like the visualizations here. That looks very good. And then sort of the same thing with the positives again. Right up here or maybe underneath this first description, right? Just a big example, right in this area, right here, so that immediately the viewers can see, get a little frame of reference. But these are, great explanations, good examples, and I like how you described how to punctuate those as well. So that looks great. Participial phrases, again, same idea. I'd like to see just a sentence example up at the beginning, and I'd call it maybe participial phrases if you'd want up there. But again, this looks good. I really like this video down here. I have not seen that one. I think that's an awesome video. It's a great reference. It explains it very well. I'm wondering if you need both videos. The one on top here is a little bit slower. It's a little bit more detailed, but I think you get just about everything you need from this video. So I think this one's better. I would encourage kind of that less is more approach, and maybe get rid of this video and just highlight this one that you have below. But again, I like your example sentences. The more examples, again, the better. But everything's looking pretty good there. And then again, prepositional. Maybe like I was mentioning, maybe for all of these headlines, you might want to say the whole phrase. So prepositional phrase, participial phrase, absolute phrase, etc. I like this. This is a nice color-coded display here, which is very, very easy to read. This song, I've seen this song before. It's pretty catchy, I suppose. So I think it's a nice feature to have on this. That's a good call, adding that. Again, these are great. Just the more examples that you can come up with. Maybe include somewhere along the line just a list of, or a table full of all of the different common prepositions, and I think that sort of solidifies people's understanding of what a prepositional phrase is. But nice job so far on the phrases. Sentence structure page, again, I like the video. I like the color coding here. I would like to see a little bit of your own description, either before or after the video, just so that somebody who doesn't want to go through the whole video process can just quickly kind of get a reference. So maybe some examples and description in this area here. That'd be my suggestion there. And then it looks like you do have some work to do on the punctuation pages. Let me know if you have questions about what to put on these pages. Questions about usage. I think you guys have a good handle on how to use all of these things. You don't need to go into great depth. For the commas page, I would ask that you sort of break it down into what you think are the probably 4 most important rules for using commas and for understanding how to use a comma. And then you'll see there's, if you look into it, there are probably 5 or 6, sometimes more rules that people will come up with. I list those, but list them as kind of secondary rules. So, the 4 big ones, which I'll let you guys decide what they are. I'll let you guys do some research on that, but kind of separate it into those 4 big ones, and then the kind of additional rules for clarity. But you don't need to give as much time to those additional rules. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even notice this. You do have a page on now. What is this? Oh, still nothing there. But I had put that in the commas, in the comma page, as well as in this common errors page too. But that's a good call. And I'm wondering. Okay, so I hadn't gone through all of this, but just add to what you need to add to. Everything else looks great. I would focus on the sentence structure, the parallelism, the common errors, and the punctuation now. So hopefully that gives you enough to chew on without being too nitpicky. Again, make this your own. This is a really long video. Wow, 9:22. I should probably stop talking now. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You're doing a great job.